Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. Oh my goodness, we have several stories we're going to cover today. It's being reported Charles told Meghan not to come back to the UK. Looks like there's going to be a christening in California. And more. So let's just jump right in and get going, shall we? Let's go. Let's start off this morning with the obvious. Do you guys remember these stories that I showed you on the last video where Meghan and Kate were going to get together and they were going to do a collaboration with Netflix? Well, remember the palace said they'd be coming out about those stories that are fake? Here you go. The palace absolutely denies that the two of them are collaborating on any project, and as a matter of fact, apparently the two of them are not even in contact. I think we already knew that, but I'm glad the palace is coming out to correct these things. Next story. I don't know if this next story is true, but I sincerely hope it is. It's being reported that Prince Charles has been trying to stay quiet after hearing all of the allegations that were put against him by his own son and Meghan Markle. But on her birthday, it's being reported that Charles called her and told her she's not welcome to return to the United Kingdom. It's being reported that all senior members of the royal family all agreed to just greet her or wish her, happy birthday publicly on their Instagram stories, and that the stuff would disappear after 24 hours, which it did. Now, the reason I don't know if this story is true, but the reason I hope it's true is because of the next story. The stories are coming out that baby's going to be christened in California, whether or not Harry and Meghan travel back to London. They wanted a huge christening at Windsor, just like Archie got with the, Archbishop of Canterbury doing it, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. The Queen are reading the mood of the people, and the mood of the people do not want to pay for these two to have security and all the money necessary to baptize their daughter there in the UK. Supposedly, they don't want to repeat the same mistakes that they made with Archie. And the mistakes that they're claiming they made were the controversy that surrounded his christening by not announcing the godparents. Really? Like they're going to announce them this time? Seems to me that these are PR puff pieces because they wanted to have the christening in the UK. They were told no by the family. Harry asked for the gown when he was there for the Diana statue unveiling. The Queen told him no because she knew that they'd never see that gown again if she gave it to Harry and Meghan. So now it's, we're going to do it privately in California. Let's be honest, we all know what's really going to happen here. They will plan and I'm air quoting, a private christening, and then of course somehow the details will be leaked, and of course then they'll put out a statement that they're not going to announce who the godparents are, blah, blah, blah. This next article I found very interesting because what it says essentially is that their method of securing money is not going to be successful in the long run. You can't continually play the victim in the long run. At some point their storyline is going to run out. The article also points out that Harry and Meghan's behavior is a, quote, far cry from the compassion, kindness, and mental health maintenance that they keep preaching about while they're zooming around in private jets while lecturing the public on climate change. The article says that the American market will probably forget them as they do every other, quote, flash in the pan. And I agree, they really are just a flash in the pan. Now, as I told you in our last video, people are starting to have what they're terming as Sussex fatigue because every frickin' day we're inundated with stories that are being put out by their PR team. So Sky News had some comments about how they feel about constantly hearing from these two. And as I mentioned in the last piece, how we're so sick of hearing their victim mentality. You guys know how much I love Sky News. Listen to this.
And I would be very pleased not to hear much more from them. I'm completely sick and tired of them, to be quite frank. I mean, Meghan Markle appears to be a control freak. Harry goes along with whatever she says. And they're so focused on making the headlines for all the wrong reasons over and over again. People are exhausted hearing their sob stories.
I completely agree with every word she said. Moving on. This next story, I remember seeing a blind item about it. I can't find the blind item anymore, but it did say that she had invited an A-lister to her wedding, and the A-lister didn't know her, so she said no, and then she tried to get the A-lister to work on a project with her, and the A-lister said no. Well, come to find out, that A-lister is Reese Witherspoon. So I find the title of the article very interesting because it said Meghan cut ties with Reese, but the truth of the matter is Reese Witherspoon wanted nothing to do with her. And it said she cut ties with the Obamas, but the truth is the Obamas didn't want anything to do with her, and so there were no ties to cut. And then, of course, you get to Jessica Mulroney. I think Jessica tried to get Meghan to back her. She tried to publicly say that they were still friends and she'd been nothing but supportive. But Meghan Markle didn't do anything for Jessica's birthday this year. And then, of course, Jessica put up that cryptic tweet about, you look in the mirror and you find new friends, etc., etc. When you get down to it, Meghan doesn't have close friends. She makes friends, she uses them, and then she throws them away. I don't think she understands the meaning of the word. Okay, moving on. Now, this last story basically pointed out that Harry had already been to the UK twice this year. Was he really going to go back again in September? Remember, the first time was for Philip's funeral and the second time was for the Diana statue unveiling. Abso-freaking-lutely he's going back because there's going to be another party about his mother's statue. And, of course, since he's marching off the memory of his mother 24/7, there's no way in hell he would miss that. Also, he's supposed to return for a weekend where he's bringing the Netflix camera crew because he's talking at a military veterans, shindig. Absolutely, he's not going to miss that. Anything that helps him make money. It's Finn update time. We picked him up from the vet. He had a great time. He came home. He was chasing the cat. The cat jumped up on the dining room table, and he left his chew toy over there, and he was too scared to go get it. Just watch this. Finn. Come on, get your chew toy. Don't be afraid of the cat. Come on. So what do you guys think? Did Charles really tell Meghan she wasn't welcome back in the UK? Do you think that Harry and Meghan finally gave up the dream of a Windsor christening for the new baby? What do you guys think about the article basically letting us know that she's no longer friends with Jessica Mulroney and her friendship with the Obamas and Reese Witherspoon is a no from the get-go? And what do you think about Harry's third trip back to the UK this year? Do you think Meghan will join him? Because I've always said from the very beginning that I never thought that she would ever step foot on UK soil again or allow the children to go there. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future uploads. You guys know you can email me. You can follow me on Twitter. I love reading your comments below. Make sure they're good ones. Don't forget about that coffee fund. And as always, you guys, have a great day.